The president has asked African leaders to ensure that the African Continental Free Trade Area, the AfCFTA agreement, is fair to all. The president made the call in Niamey when he signed the agreement, making Nigeria the 53rd state on the continent to append its signature. The signing ceremony was the first event at the opening of the 12th Extraordinary Summit of the African Union on the launch of the operational phase of that agreement. But the president had delayed signing the agreement to give room for extensive consultations with stakeholders. Well, our correspondent Olua Shonibare tells us more.
With the signing of the African Continental Free Trade Agreement, it can be safely said that President Muhammadu Buhari has consulted widely with stakeholders across the country. The reason given for holding back the nation's signature from the list of member countries. As the most populated nation in Africa, the pressure on Nigeria to sign the agreement was high. So much that criticism trailed the initial reluctance of President Buhari to come on board. The African Continental Free Trade Agreement is a trade agreement with countries under the umbrella of the African Union, with an objective of creating a single market, followed by a free trade movement and a single currency union, an idea that was set in motion on March 21, 2018 in Rwanda. Now that Nigeria has joined the group, what is the nation bringing to the party in terms of goods to trade? Beyond the highly lucrative oil sector, what else can be said to be commercial potentials? Taking a look at options of what to trade with other countries, agriculture appears to be the other viable option, as the state of industries in Nigeria offers little optimism. The moribund conditions of factories that once flourished before the advent of oil is a sad reminder of Nigeria's glorious past. Another huge disappointment is the Ajaokuta Steel Company Limited. Established in 1979, it has hardly produced any goods to add to the nation's GDP. Several factors can be penciled down as reasons for the lapse in developmental strides: government policies, security challenges, erratic power supply.
The sluggish government policy, that they don't come out quickly, it has to undergo so many processes before final implementation. This is our key problem.
One thing is certain. Now that Nigeria has decided to join the League of Nations in trading widely, it must begin to seriously consider revamping stagnant sectors of the economy for its participation to be deemed meaningful. Olua Shonibare, Channels Television News.
Well, as Nigeria takes a decisive move to economic integration in Africa, what are the gains? The guest joins us via Skype, Muda Yusuf, DG, Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry. I'd like to thank you for joining us at this time and ask right away, was it all in the clear for that signing in? We remember several criticisms that trailed the delay of the president appending his signature to that agreement.
Well, I think it is a good thing that finally the agreement has been signed, and I think we can move on from here. Although we have lost some time, because before now, I think we should have taken advantage of the initial periods to engage and to put our concerns on the table. But what I think it's a welcome development. I believe that there is more to gain than to lose in the process. We are talking about a market size of 1.2 billion people. We are talking of an economy of $2.5 trillion. So it's a great opportunity for our manufacturers. It's a great opportunity for other sectors of the economy, particularly investors in the service sector. So I think it's a good start, but we should regard it as work in progress. But it's not as if everything will be perfect from the beginning.
And perhaps that's the next question, Mr. Yusuf. How ready are we? I mean, when we look at the bloc of South Africa, Egypt, for example, is the government ready for those policies when we look at electricity challenges, for example?
Well, there is no perfect time for things like this. We just have to start. Don't forget we are part of ECOWAS, and Nigeria played a leading role in the formation of ECOWAS in 1975. And the experience we are having in ECOWAS cannot be worse than the experience we will have with the AfCFTA. We have issues, no doubt, with infrastructure, with logistics, and so on and so forth. But don't forget that this economy is 50% services. So we have a lot that you can offer in the services sector area, even in manufacturing. As we speak, a whole lot of our manufacturing are in the West African region, even though those things are going there informally. So I think we should start. There's no perfect time. As we progress, we'll begin to deal with all the outstanding issues.
Security is also a big challenge. I mean, looking at this trade with other African countries, do you think we would really succeed looking at our immigration policies, customs?
I'm sure we will succeed. You know, it's whether the cup is half full or half empty. There are things we can do. We don't have a perfect system. We have been running with the ECOWAS sub-region. It's also a level of economic integration. So we have to strengthen our. Of course, there are things that we need to do to make sure that we get the right kind of value from this arrangement or this protocol. We need to fix our institutions. We need to fix our infrastructure. We need to fix some of our policies, our trade policy, our tax policy, our monetary policy, our investment policy. We need to fix all of this. But don't forget that I said it's work in progress. This is just the beginning. And the AfCFTA also has provisions, you know, through which you can also protect a few of the vulnerable sectors within the agreement. So all these advantages, we'll explore that to ensure that we don't expose our economy unduly.
Indeed.
And it will also be an opportunity for us to also deal with all the issues of competitiveness that we have in the economy.
Many experts have said that perhaps some of the managers of tomorrow are not ready for this because of the gap that currently exists. But you're saying moving ahead, what better way to start? But what role do you think the government, private sector, the MDAs, they should be putting in place? Also, the ambassadors to the African countries, what they should be doing to ensure the smooth and success of this agreement?
Well, on our own part, we need to sort out our domestic issues. We need to ensure that we position our enterprises to be competitive. Because if you are stepping out from the comfort zone of your country or from your region into a continental space, you need to be prepared for the competitive issues that will arise. So we need to deal with issues of competitiveness to bring down our operating costs. Just as I said, we start from the policy angle. We look at our tax policy, look at how we can moderate it. We look at our tariff policy, look at how we can moderate it. Look at our monetary policy, interest rates, foreign exchange. All those ones are policy issues that we need to deal with domestically. Internationally, we need to work with other countries to ensure compliance with what we call rule of origin. That's a very, very important provision in the agreement. And what the rule of origin says is that you have to be sure that whatever goods you are trading within the framework of this agreement are goods that are produced within the continent. And it takes a lot of discipline. It takes a lot of institutional discipline to ensure compliance by all the countries. Otherwise, if you don't get it right with rule of origin, this agreement will not be able to. So we have to engage with other countries to ensure that all the rules that guide the operation of the agreement are complied with.
Final question, and in 30 seconds, if you can, where does this leave all our other trading partners? This is outside the continent of Africa, say China, for example.
Well, they have a bigger market to deal with. If they are dealing with us now, they deal with us as a single block. So it is good for them. I mean, they also, in fact, it's an opportunity for them to also take advantage. But that will be subject to whatever rules guide the operations of the AfCFTA. But it doesn't take much away from them.
We'd like to thank you, Mr. Muda Yusuf, DG, Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, for joining us on the program.